Have you ever had a dream so bizarre that you woke up staring at the ceiling in total confusion? Or maybe you've had a slip of the tongue, accidentally calling your boss Mom right in the middle of a meeting. From a modern perspective, those events are strictly mechanical. A slip of the tongue is a misfiring synapse in the language center of your brain. A weird dream is just your nervous system randomly processing residual data during REM sleep. But go back to the 1890s, and one doctor in Vienna looked at those exact same mental glitches and saw something else. He believed they were secret messages leaking out from a hidden vault inside your own head. This creates a major historical contradiction. If modern science considers these events to be simple errors, why is the man who thought they were profound secrets still considered the inescapable founding father of therapy? To understand that, we have to look at the medical world of 1890s Vienna. At this time, science was strictly physical. Doctors measured reflexes, tracked heart rates, and cataloged biological data. If you were sick, there had to be a visible physical cause. That biological approach hit a wall with a condition they called hysteria. Patients in wards like these suffered severe physical symptoms, paralysis, chronic coughs, even blindness, but doctors could find absolutely zero underlying biological disease. The breakthrough came from Dr. Josef Breuer and his patient Bertha Pappenheim, known clinically as Anna O. Anna O discovered something radical for the 19th century. When she sat in a room and talked through her past traumas, her physical symptoms improved. She called it the talking cure. Breuer's colleague Sigmund Freud took this observation and turned it into a revolution. He expanded the talking cure into a comprehensive theory of the human mind. Freud proposed that the human skull contained an entirely undiscovered, invisible landscape operating beneath our conscious awareness. This iceberg illustrates Freud's affining metaphor. The top 10% above the water is your conscious mind, the thoughts you know you're having. The massive hidden structure, 90% underwater, is the unconscious basement. Inside that basement, Freud identified three distinct forces. At the very bottom is the id. This represents our primal, newborn-like drives. It wants food, sleep, and pleasure immediately, without any regard for rules. Pushing back against those drives is the superego. This is your internalized rulebook. It is the source of your guilt and the standards of society you've been taught to follow. And trapped in the middle is the ego. This is the conscious you. You are the stressed negotiator, trying to balance primal desires with strict rules, just so you can function in society. When these three forces start fighting, the result is human anxiety. To Freud, the mind was a space permanently in conflict with itself. This presented a massive logistical problem. How does a doctor recover data from a part of the mind that the patient themselves isn't aware of? Freud's primary method was free association. He created a space, like this couch covered in Persian rugs, where a patient could recline and speak completely unfiltered. By saying whatever came to mind, the patient would eventually reveal hidden truths. He also relied on dream analysis. Freud believed that bizarre dream elements, like a train moving through a tunnel, were coded symbols for repressed desires. And then there is the Freudian slip. This is when an accidental misspeak reveals that your unconscious drives have briefly overpowered your conscious control. Today, modern psychology rejects these specific mechanics. We no longer use universal dream dictionaries, and we view the mind as a complex neural network rather than a battleground between three distinct characters. But while modern science rejects Freud's exact tools, his methodology was the crucial first attempt to systemize how we observe human thought. The modern consensus is clear. Empirical science has debunked much of Freud's specific, highly sexualized theories about childhood. We don't study Freud today for his medical accuracy. We study him because he forced an entirely new way of looking at our internal lives. Before Freud, society ignored the concept that childhood trauma permanently shapes how an adult behaves decades later. He also normalized the act of looking inward. He demonstrated that we can use talk therapy to investigate and heal our own psychological wounds. Modern therapy exists because Freud was the first person to walk down to that basement door and look inside. So, the next time you have a weird dream or a slip of the tongue, take a moment to ask yourself what your own basement might be trying to tell you. Tell us in the comments, what's the strangest dream you've ever had? I promise we won't analyze it too much. Thanks for visiting the Psyche Cafe. We'll see you next time.